Hey Jeff,
Wow. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I tell you,
Excellent.
that intro is so positive, feels really good. Just really sets things up really nicely, I think, don't you?
Yeah, getting a lot of great feedback about that, you
Yeah,
know. So great
yeah,
job on getting the vibe for us. I think that's
yeah.
really
Might
awesome.
have found my calling.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
great.
So, yeah, I give a few things to talk about and how, but you're doing good.
Yeah, doing very well.
Yeah.
Was out today enjoying the sunshine. The sunshine's always nice.
Hmm.
And welcome to Bitcoin Brody and the Crypto Cadets. I'm Jeff Brody,
And I'm Bill Sheltima.
and thank you for
You bet.
joining us tonight.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Yeah, so lots to talk about. Lots to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, there really is.
It's interesting is that we got a lot of new people jumping into crypto,
Yeah.
right? I'm getting a lot of questions. A lot of people who have been some people who have been investing in stocks for a long time
Hmm.
that kind of feel their market gains are kind of flat when they're looking at the types of gains that are possible in the
Yeah.
cryptocurrency world. So,
Absolutely.
it's when we're talking to these people, it's actually giving them a quick, you know, basic, Bitcoin basics, cryptocurrency basics 101,
Hmm.
right? And the first thing I get is like, well, what's this thing I hear about blockchain? What is a
Yeah.
blockchain,
Yeah. Blockchain.
right? And the blockchain is it's a public ledger, it could be private ledger, but it's let's say in Bitcoin's uh, terminology,
Hmm.
we use that as the granddaddy of all cryptocurrencies. It's a
Hmm.
public ledger where the information, where transactions are
Hmm.
validated by peer to peer, and
Yeah.
then they're signed with public and private keys, and they're committed into the blockchain. And then in the in the Bitcoin world, there's multiple peers that are validating this,
Yeah.
and they're all saying, "Yep, this is good, this is good." And when they get a quorum, then they commit the um, the transaction to the public blockchain.
Right.
And in Bitcoin's, like, the public blockchain, everything is there. It cannot be modified and it can't be removed,
Right.
right? So it is a indelible record, if you will. So there's a lot of people out there going like, oh, can I get into cryptocurrency and not have to report my what I'm
Hmm.
doing to those people who need to know? And it's like, if you're trading on a public blockchain
Yeah.
and you're using an exchange and you're using a payment gateway to ramp your money on and off the internet,
Yeah.
you pretty much have handed over
Yeah.
your identity, right?
Right. Yeah.
And any crypto analyst worth their salt can track you down,
Yeah.
right? There are a number of things that you can do to hide your tracks, but it's like it's something that you have to really take care to do, right?
Yeah.
And it's just you if you're concerned about taxes, you buy and hold,
Yeah.
right? There's no tax exposure to holding,
Hmm.
right? It's when you do the transactions.
That's right.
So the public blockchain is, transactions are confirmed, they're encrypted, they're signed, and
Hmm.
then they're uh, committed to the chain,
Yeah.
right?
And once the block is full, they start a new block.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have wallets, right? Because I
Hmm.
get a lot of this. Well, I've got a wallet with my crypto.com, I got a wallet with my ShakePay, and it's kind of like, yeah, okay, you do have a exchange wallet,
Yeah.
right? Where but it's not your wallet because you don't have a seed phrase, and
Hmm.
it's not in your control. Those coins are not in your custody.
Yeah.
So if you need liquidity, you can leave your tokens on an exchange for the purpose of trading, buying
Yeah.
and selling, and you're doing longs and shorts and different types
Yeah.
of things.
Hmm.
Um, but the thing to understand is that if your crypto is on an exchange, we've seen what happened in Turkey, and we also, two crypto exchanges have gone offline. I haven't followed up on that story, but now we see the is it Hotbit?
Hotbit, yeah.
Yeah, and they got cyber attacked. The attackers, based on the report, and I've been following this just out of interest, as I saw that the perpetrators, the bad guys, the threat actors, got in and they did some damage to the user database, and Hotbit's cyber security prevention system shut it down, and they say that none of the wallets were affected, and the currency hasn't been affected.
Yeah.
And that they decided to keep the exchange offline so they could do deep forensics, but also to rebuild their entire 200 server environment, because they don't know what had been left behind by the perpetrators.
Right, like a Trojan or something like that.
Yeah, you never know, like some simple backdoor piece of code, whatever it is, they may have left something behind, so that.
Yeah. So you're saying they're replacing the hardware, like the complete?
Well, I don't know if they're replacing the hardware. They may very well be, but they're doing a complete fresh install rebuild of everything. And
okay, I see.
Like what they've been doing is they were testing their trading servers. They're doing the database restore. Then they have to go and do the validation and so they don't know how long they're going to be off.
Yeah,
because it's basically they've rebuilt the entire exchange. Right. So this is where we come in and bring it back. We'll talk about wallets.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So when we're talking about wallets, the wallets are, and there's the term that says not your keys, not your wallet. Right. So when you have your funds sitting on an exchange and that exchange goes offline, you don't have access to those. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. However, if you did have all of those crypto sitting in your wallet, right? Yeah. Whether you're using something like a software wallet like Trust Wallet, or you're using a hardware wallet like a Trezor or a Ledger, one of those, then all of that information is registered in the public blockchain as a wallet that is in your custody. You have the seed words, the seed phrase, so you're in ownership of it. Yeah. So that's the thing about wallets, is that you have a wallet on exchange that just basically says here's your temporary IOU spot for the crypto that you're purchasing and trading.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so the thing about wallets is once you create your recovery phrase, like I've set up a new wallet, let's say it's Trust Wallet, or, I set up a Binance Smart Chain wallet within my Chrome-based browser. I write down my seed phrase. I can actually use that seed phrase to recover on other wallets as well. It doesn't have to be the same wallet. Because what that seed phrase is going to do is going to give you access to your private key pair. And that private key pair is what gives you the identity that's stored in the public chain, in the blockchain, to give you this is your crypto.
Yeah.
Right? One of the things I found interesting is that in the Ledger and the Trezor is that when you're using these ERC20 buzzword, Ethereum-based tokens, right? You can have a whole bunch of Ethereum-based cryptocurrencies, and they all go to your same Ethereum address.
Okay.
And then you have to be able to identify which ones you have. So one of the things that I find kind of interesting, annoying, is that when I look in my Ethereum account, I don't see all of the different Ethereum projects that I have. I have to type in the project name. I have to type in, whatever it is, whatever Ethereum-based token it is that I've stored there. So I just found that interesting. So this kind of gets us into the next topic. And I think you and I were having this discussion about how do you move crypto between places, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you look at it, maybe you're KYC'd on one platform and you're not on another.
Yeah.
Right. So you may have a need to, if you're into buying altcoins and that's your thing, then you may want to, you go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, you see what exchange is that cryptocurrency trading on, then you find out, oh, what's this WhoCoin, or what's Bitforex, or what's BitThumb,
Yeah.
or what's Gate.io.
Yeah.
And, so that you could go and create accounts there, set up all your cybersecurity stuff, right? Your multi-factor authentication, um, your Google Authenticator,
Yeah.
SMS, email, like you set up all the thing trading, you
Yeah.
set up your trading password. So you get all that set up. Once you've got it set up, you can then go in and receive tokens. So you
Yeah.
can receive crypto. So you don't actually have to set up the KYC on that exchange. So you can get the crypto in. So, you might, one of the ways I like transferring funds is by USDT, so Tether, the stable
Yeah.
coin, and I like sending it over the Tron TRC20 network, right? Because it's got super low fees and it's very quick. It's generally like 5 to 6 minutes
Yeah.
to transfer. But if you don't have, like, for instance, when you're using, maybe, I don't know if ShakePay offers the different token options when you're trying to transfer something, like you can't even do USDT there, right?
No,
So
you
you either
can't.
have, so it's either Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really entry level. If you want to get into crypto investing and you want to keep it very simple, then ShakePay is probably one of the easiest ones to work. That's what I started with. And I find that I don't use, I've moved most of my Bitcoin out of it into a hot wallet, and I just use it for shaking. So I have create my, my daily shaking to get my Satoshis. I'm using crypto.com. And then the one I use the most right now, and I'm really, really enjoying it, is KuCoin.
What is it about KuCoin that you're enjoying?
What I like about KuCoin, well, all three of them, anytime I've transferred or have done any e-transfers of fiat money, I've never had an issue.
Awesome.
So it's really quick with KuCoin. I like the fact that you can, for me as a new investor in crypto, the charts are there and I can begin to learn how to read the charts. There's not just a line graph, right?
Right.
As you get with ShakePay. And as well as, I think crypto is just a line as well. I don't think they have candles, where KuCoin has candles.
Yeah,
and you go in.
Gives you they embed the Trading View app in there.
Yeah, so which is a great idea. It gives you more options as well, as far as watching the buy and sell walls, along with that. And you have a really great selection of coins, alternative coins, altcoins. Absolutely. And I just find, I know now that I've used it more for the last few weeks, I know my way around it. I know if I need to move money, how I want to do that. And yeah, it's just really quite easy. It's nice to look at. It isn't overwhelming. And
was it a bit overwhelming at first when you first saw that spot trading interface?
Oh yeah, my gosh, was it ever? It's like, okay. My first problem was, it's like, okay, I gotta get money in here from my bank account. I got an e-transfer. Where is it? I couldn't find it. Along the top, you have your spot trade, margin trade, your fiat and futures, or whatever. I'm not sure what the other one is. So once I figured out, okay, I got to go to fiat, and that's where I can buy the Tether USDT and then move that money in that way. And that process is really easy, really simple. I get it within 10 minutes, the money's in.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been really, really good. I've moved money out from there to my Tether wallet, or sorry, not my Tether wallet, to my hot wallet too. So that's been quite easy. So yeah, it's just really good. And it's nice because you and others use it as well. So if we ever want to do any, sharing of coins or blessing each other with, a surprise bundle of coins or something, it's quite easy and really, really quick.
Well, it's nice. Yeah. So you do those on exchange. Here's the nice thing is that when you got multiple users and you're using the same exchange,
Mm-hmm.
the movement of the coins is very quick and is
Yeah.
very inexpensive because
Mhm.
it's an on exchange. They just say, oh, this is an on exchange transfer.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I'll touch on is, like you said, ShakePay is super easy. New user, their fees are low,
Yeah.
and the ability to move money in and out is very easy.
Mm-hmm.
And it is your crypto, although it's not your crypto because it's still on their system. It'll
Yeah.
become your. The nice thing is it can become your crypto when you transfer it off into your hot or cold wallet.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
No,
So
that's
that's no longer an issue. That learning curve has been met, and I've climbed that one. And it's on to understanding buying pairs, understanding staking, understanding more how to do good research and
yeah,
know what I'm looking at is good, and taking in what news I'm hearing, the things that are going on around us in the world. How does that affect what's going on now? Does it even affect what's happening in crypto? Things like that, and to be ready and prepared. So I always have a little bit of stash sitting ready to go if I need to, because I know that if, let's say, I have some USDT sitting in KuCoin for, I bought in some Doji, okay? And so if it comes back down, I'm going to grab more because I
yeah,
know that the network is going to be flooded, and then there'll be bottlenecking, things will be slow. To try to move money from an e-transfer in is going to take so long that I'll miss my opportunity. So I figure the best thing to do, have some sitting in the fiat wallet that I can grab and buy.
absolutely, absolutely. That is the best thing to do. There is that,
Hmm.
and this is the thing. They talk about a lot of people, investors talk about taking profits,
Hmm.
right? And taking profits, it simply might mean, um, coin's gone up. If it's gone up significantly, then you can sell off maybe some part of your initial investment or 10% or something, so you can take profits and you put it into something like USDT,
Hmm.
um, a stable coin, so that you can set it aside. And then, as Bill said, maybe another project that you're looking for
Yeah.
have a dip, and then you have money available to buy, because we can see these dips when
Yeah.
they fall. They're fast, like they're
Yeah.
boom boom in and out.
Yeah.
Like I watched one the other day go, it dropped down 50%. Like
That's
1 minute
pretty
it's down 50%, and it's like 2 minutes later it's right back up. The buying pressure was so heavy,
good. Hmm.
right? So let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned trading pairs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when you move from a platform like a crypto.com, the application on your phone, or a ShakePay, you're moving into a trading platform that has what we call spot trading. And
Hmm.
first thing you're going to be introduced to is trading pairs.
Yeah.
And the most,
KuCoin and crypto, not ShakePay though.
yeah. Um, yeah. So when you're doing the trading, you're looking at, you'll see most platforms have the two most popular
Hmm.
are Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
The reason you trade from Ethereum and Bitcoin is that, there's, especially like trading to Bitcoin, to and from Bitcoin, is so you can stack Satoshis, right? And stacking Satoshis means you buy an altcoin. Let's say you buy Dogecoin, and you bought Dogecoin at 38 cents and you sell it at 65 cents,
Yeah.
right? So you're taking 85% gain.
Hmm.
You sell it out into BTC. You choose that pair so that it drops back into your Bitcoin holdings. So you've
Yeah.
now just stacked an extra 85% of your investment into Satoshis. So
Yeah.
that's how you stack your Satoshis.
Yeah.
So when you're looking, the other reason we look at trading pairs is so that we can understand the relative market, uh, the relative market gain or loss
Mm-hmm.
that a token has relative to Bitcoin.
Right.
So if like right now, like we've seen Bitcoin is um, the Bitcoin dominance is lower.
Yeah.
So, we might see, for instance, the Ethereum dominance is higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it means that, maybe it's like, yeah, you could you could stack some of your Satoshis into Ethereum. So you could do a BTC ETH pair
Mm-hmm.
and then, or an ETH BTC pair. So you're either buying or selling one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you flip it back over, this way you don't have to go through intermediaries. So
Yeah.
let's put it in real simple terms. Canadian US dollars,
Yeah.
right? So we take our Canadian dollars, we flip it to US, and then our uh, we buy our crypto.
Mm-hmm.
We sell our crypto, and if we sell it to USD, then we need to get it back to Canadian. So we have to do these um, conversions, foreign exchanges,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we can think about that those foreign exchanges a very similar way as like when you're flipping your cryptos,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes you'll go and there is no ETH pairing, there is no BTC pairing. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Most times there is, but sometimes there isn't, and the only way you can buy it is you need to have USDT
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
need to have the exchange token, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you need to figure out what the pairing is and how you want to trade, and the pairing is important when you're trying to figure out what tokens are you holding,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So it really isn't about one pair performing better than another. It's just the application of what you want to do with it once you grab it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it also, what it does is it saves you from having to move between
Mm-hmm.
multiple trades to get to your
Yeah.
final destination.
Right. Yeah. So ultimately, I guess I was thinking about this last night. So the goal, I think, for me is to get to a point where I don't have to keep e-transferring from my bank account. I can just take my gains and move them into another pair that I want to invest in. And because I see it as the next project that's going to pump, let's say. And once I see the timing that I feel is right, I sell my gains and then I can move it up without having to move it into the fiat and then back out again.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, what you're going to find is that as you go along and you build a larger bag of crypto,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have a larger stash sitting to the side.
Yeah, you can have 5, 10 grand, 15, 20 grand. Well, that's
any number.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like when we look at this and we go, what do we want to move into? What do we want to move out of? And what's our profit?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, the other nice thing I like about KuCoin is you can lend the different coins or USDT and stuff too, and get an interest on that as well.
Yeah, so that's a cool thing is that if you've got a bag of USDT stable sitting inside, I know KuCoin pays quite a hefty APY on that.
Mm-hmm.
They got a good rate of a lending rate, so you can lend it out.
Yeah,
and then when you need it, you just go and grab it back, you cash out, and away you go.
Yeah, yeah. So there are other options to making money as well, aside from the investing side, right? That's where you truly become your own bank, because then you're lending what is yours for them to use, right? So that's pretty awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and this is the whole thing: is that it's this whole decentralized finance, right? Where you're putting the power, the sovereignty of your funds into the hands of the investors, and so the investors can It's the same way now. What a bank does is they take your funds and they pool it
Yep.
and they lend it out.
Yep.
And
make lots of money on it.
Yeah, and at today's interest rates, we just don't see any of that.
No.
Right. And so we ask, well, how can there be such huge interest rates paid? And it's that it comes down to, so for instance, let's say that you're stacking Satoshis and you've got one Bitcoin. So what's that, like $75,000 Canadian right now?
Yeah, or close to, yeah.
So rather than cash out your Bitcoin, you go and you take a loan against it.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're not creating any taxable events.
That's right.
In fact, you're now, that interest could, check with your local jurisdiction on this. I'm not a tax advisor, nor am I a financial advisor.
Me neither. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, we're a bit of a comedians too.
We are.
So you could actually, that investment interest that you're paying is cost of doing business, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do this. So you don't always have to cash out your Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing to understand is that there is a risk again when you're loaning, when you're borrowing money against it, is that if you make a bad investment, you could be liquidated. No different than them, you taking a mortgage out on your home and you can't make the payments and you lose your home.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, that's so it's interesting. It's definitely, we're definitely heating up. It's interesting. We had a few days of real pressure in the Ethereum world.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like, wow, Ethereum's having a real hard time getting over $3,500. Here, let me just slow down and say that again. Ethereum's having a hard time getting over $3,500. Wasn't it just a week ago was having a hard time getting over $2,200, let alone $2,500? So we rocketed up past 3,500 and we've settled in. It's like 3,450-ish. Right? So we've seen that's like a 40% gain in a little over 10 days.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Now there's another old token called Ethereum Classic, which has taken off as well. It touched in around the 160, 170 price range, and it's dropped back down because you got a lot of sell-off. But let me give you an idea. In 2019 July, I took my 17-year-old son to a Bitcoin ATM and showing how we take $100 bill, we take our smartphone with our QR code, and we go up to this device. We click enter, how much money we're going to deposit. It asks for our address. We scan our QR code. Then it says, please insert the money. And the money machine goes in and sucks in the $100 bill. And it goes, thank you very much, processing.
Yeah.
And it spits out a receipt. And then they're going like, now what?
Yeah.
At that time, we bought Bitcoin. The machine goes in and sucks in the $100 bill. So it's like, it's interesting. And so we look at this and I'm going, okay, so we had that $100 in Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up and went down. And so we decided, hey, Bitcoin's moving sideways. Let's move. And then I flipped it over to Ethereum Classic. At the time, was trading at around $6.70.
Wow.
Right. So we had 18.5 Ethereum Classics.
Yeah.
For $100. We started with $100 Canadian.
Yeah.
Right. So it went up, and that $100 Canadian, had to be foreign exchange in the US dollars. Plus we had to pay our 8% fee to get the money in because it was through a retail over the counter
Well, okay, yeah.
So it's over time. So we got our money back, and then here we are, not quite 2 years later. This was July of 2019. Here it is,
Okay.
April 2021, just shy of 2 years, and that's gone from $6 and change. It peaked at $160, $170 today.
Wow.
And it's crazy. And we look at it and go, why is this?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a really strong chain, right? It's been susceptible to 51% attacks. Mind you, they've done a lot of things to protect against that now.
Yeah.
But it's and what people are doing. New people are coming in and they're deciding, hey, it's got the Ethereum name on it, and it's kind of like the baby brother of Ethereum. So let's buy this.
Yeah.
So you've got this TikTok group. I find out, I was listening to Lark Davis on YouTube, and he was talking like there's a TikTok group that's driving it up. So it's not a long-term hold thing, Yeah. And it's kind of like, here's the thing. Nobody knows. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? What do you know, Bill?
Less than you.
Well, you read the news, right?
Yeah, I do.
So
yeah.
You're probably just as much up on me when we flip through the news on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at all the people who said, Doge is a crap coin. Stay away from it.
Yeah. They're still saying that. Well,
and you know what? Yeah, there is a huge risk with it. There's a huge risk with all cryptocurrencies. Maybe, the risk is reducing with, the Ethereums and the Bitcoin, but it's like, what do we have something here? I could say that I haven't been pumping up my tickers.
Oh yeah. Well, we know that. I know I read an article just commenting that a lot of banks in the States are going to be taking in Bitcoin.
Yep.
So that's going to make a huge surge for sure.
Yeah, that's a big piece of news. U.S. banks accepting cryptocurrency.
Which means they're going to want to have their own holdings, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to limit the amount out there, make it more rare, which will drive price up.
Yeah. So, all these things, it's interesting. I was talking to an extremely conservative investor friend of mine today. And he's saying, yeah, I definitely want to hold a couple of Bitcoin because I'm pretty certain it's going to be worth more than $250,000 soon. And this is a guy who told me, careful. This is really risky, right? Because governments could overturn this. A lot of things could happen, right? And I'm going, yeah, okay, you're right. I just keep on my path, stay in between my lines, and this is what we find. And so what this has to do with what we're talking about is that Ethereum Classic has been around. Yes, it's been around a long time. Ethereum Classic came about when the Ethereum network, the original one, had a successful 51% attack, and you had two camps. One were, let's create a new fork and start a new chain. And then you had the original team saying, well, we don't want to do that. We rolled back the transaction. We're just going to move forward. Right? So the Ethereum, that's when the Ethereum chain started out. Right? And it's like, the Ethereum chain has been doing a lot to improve the security of the Ethereum chain. It's still not, like, let's face it, Ethereum is still not as secure as Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the most secure environment. Has the most miners. So Ethereum Classic, it's on a run. It could be doing another Doge thing. And so Doge has been around a long time. Ethereum Classic has been around a long time.
Yeah, and I was reading somewhere that the Dogecoin code, 70% of the code is from Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it could be a good contender and why it's probably doing what it's doing as well, do you think?
Well, I think, that's open for discussion, right? And the thing is that Doge has a massive amount of tokens out there.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's based on it's three projects removed from Bitcoin. So it's Bitcoin to Litecoin. I don't know if it was Magic Coin or Miracle Coin. I can't remember the M one. And
Okay.
then Dogecoin spun off of that. So it was four. It's four projects. It's a fork off of the third project.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So yes, it's based loosely on Bitcoin.
Okay.
Right. So so there's a lot of exciting things going on. So
Mm-hmm.
and we're looking at Ethereum Classic is the original code that Ethereum came from, and that's where Ethereum Classic and Ethereum forked, and Ethereum became a new blockchain.
Yeah.
Right. So they had the attack, and they decided to create a new blockchain.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. So the concern about Ethereum Classic and these other coins is that they could, because there wasn't enough miners, because it wasn't profitable to mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. When Ethereum Classic crested $50, it became a profitable coin to mine.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a profitable coin to mine, it means that you're going to have more miners joining in.
Right. Now, is that the one you were talking about? You can use older GPUs to mine with?
Yep. You can use, so the older GPUs. So what happened for people who are mining Ethereum? There's this thing called this DAG file. I'll just leave it as DAG because let's just keep it real high level. And the DAG file got over 4 gigabytes. And so you got a lot of these 4 gig GPUs. 4 gigabytes of graphics memory used to be quite a bit for if you were doing any type of rendering, games, those type of things. And actually, a 4 gig card is still pretty decent. Is still a pretty decent gaming card. Maybe not the high end, but you can still get by with it.
So now I'm just gonna. Can I just jump in? Ahead. Is the reason why they're using graphic cards for mining because it can process fast?
Yeah, so they're basically GPUs, graphical processing units. They are math processors,
right?
Doing floating point math,
okay.
Right? And so that's how when you're looking and when you're rendering a 3D or 2D scene, right, from a file from that you're doing that, it's all mathematically intense,
right?
So that's why you need the GPUs. And the other reason GPU versus CPU is that you can run mining rigs with up to 12 GPUs in it on a single rig. Now you need a lot of power. You may need 2 or 3 power supplies.
Yeah.
Right. And the way you set it up with risers and powering the risers and powering everything, it's a very interesting setup. And you're talking about a tremendous amount of heat that you're generating.
Okay, now I have another very newbie question.
Okay.
So when Satoshi Nakamoto, is it Nakamoto?
Nakamoto, yeah.
Nakamoto, when he was creating Bitcoin, whether it was Elon Musk and a group of men or people that he had, or whoever it is, and they decided, okay, 21 million is the cap, right?
Yes.
And people are mining for Bitcoin, correct?
Yes.
Do they know where they put them, or does it just get thrown out randomly into the network? Like how, like when he first, okay, we're done, we're sending it, we're starting, Bitcoin is started, boom, day one, Bitcoin is active.
Yeah.
Where are they all, or how did they get to where they are?
So what happens is that there is a network, for Bitcoin miners. So you can either join what's called a pool, and become a partner in a pool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole idea is that you're adding hash power to the pool, and you're, by putting more computing power or hash power into a pool, you're helping the pool crack blocks. And every time you crack a block, you get paid a reward,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the reward is shared across the pool. If you have enough resources, you can set up your own farms,
Mm-hmm.
and you can mine against them. So what you're doing is, when you're mining, you actually set up what's called a flight sheet or a mining sheet, and with a address that you're saying deposit these mined tokens to this
Right.
to this address.
Okay, my next question is that you just made a comment. Why do you need to crack the block?
It's just that's when they pay the reward. There's a bigger reward. So you get paid a certain amount for your hash power,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So think about, you're out there with a lawnmower.
Mm-hmm.
You're out there, and with your 18-inch city lawnmower,
Mm-hmm.
and you're out in a field that's 40 acres.
Okay.
And you're giving your hash power, your mower power, and you're walking along and you're mowing that field.
Right.
Now, until all those 40 acres are mowed, you're not going to get paid anything.
Yeah.
So it will take you a very long time.
Yeah.
If you ever could.
Right. So on one side, you have these transactions are being validated over the network by different computers that are not miners, that create and fill a block. Then
Well, there's still miners. They're basically, what happens is there's a distribution. There's a traffic cop out there that distributes work to you.
Right.
Right. And for instance, in the Ethereum and the Bitcoin environments, it's called proof of work.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you an algorithm to run. You solve the algorithm, and when you solve the algorithm, you post your answer.
Okay.
Right. And when you go and look at a blockchain, it's like if you're transferring USDT, or you're transferring Doge, or you're transferring Bitcoin, whatever, you can take your address and you can Google Bitcoin Explorer, Ethereum Explorer, Dogecoin Blockchain Explorer, and then you can put that address in, and you can see the number of confirmations for the transaction.
Okay.
My son came to me and said, I transferred Ethereum Classic 5 hours ago. I don't see it. And I said, you looked on the blockchain? He said, yeah, the blockchain says that it has confirmations. I said, okay. He says, but there's something strange here. It shows in and it shows out. And I'm going, okay, let's go look at this, right? So we logged on to his exchange and we took a look, and I went into Ethereum Classic, and then I went into the deposit and withdrawal history, went into deposit history, and I said, oh, there it is. It's unconfirmed. He's going, oh, I didn't see that before. I said, because it's been 4 hours and it was close to $3,000 in value. He was a little bit concerned. He says, he says, not the end of the world. He says, if it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
But he says, I sure hope it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
And for a teenager to be in a position like that, to make that statement, I'm okay if I mess something up. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty mature.
That's very mature, very strong emotional intelligence for sure.
Hey, Dad, can I borrow some money? And I said to him, this kind of goes back to our earlier conversation. When you're moving current cryptos between wallets, between exchanges, pay the little bit more for the high. Never go for the low, because what'll happen is, if you try and go for the low fees, it could be weeks, if ever, to get completed before that transaction gets stale.
Right.
If you're trying to move your crypto out of your cold wallet so that you can capture the heat of the moment on the sell-off, then pay the high fees. Like the difference between, it's the first time he did a transfer by himself where Dad wasn't looking over his shoulder. So he just took the suggested normal fee.
Yeah.
which is fine. It means that probably in 8 or 12 hours it'll be complete.
Yeah.
I did a transaction after him, and I paid the high fee, and the difference between the low fee and high fee was in the pennies.
Yeah.
It's just I'm sitting here going, well, why doesn't it just default to the high? And I mean, the reason I knew to use high fees because I'm listening to BitBoy and I'm listening to Lark Davis and I'm listening to Elio Trades and I like a whole bunch of these other guys, and they're saying, oh, when you're doing these, just pay the little bit extra for the high so that you get it quicker.
Yeah, quicker. Yeah.
So I think that's a big tip to know, and it's that you use the blockchain when you don't know where things are.
Mm-hmm.
If at least if you know the address, your address where you're sending from, you can put your address in and you'll see it in the blockchain. So there's going to be a from and a to address, and you can see when it arrives.
Yeah, I think I did that once actually, just to see what it looked like, just to have the experience. So it's good to do.
Absolutely. It's the other thing is the next thing is to set up a new machine and to restore your wallet to it and try your seed keys out. Make sure you can do that. Yeah. And the reason I say that is that in case you've written one of your seed phrases down or the dog ate your word phrase, that you want to make sure that you can restore your wallet. It doesn't do anything. It just opens that wallet up. And so what the wallet is doing is it's creating your private key and it's giving you access to the blockchain.
Yeah.
Right. So try that one day. Do a wallet restore.
Yeah.
It's a little freaky the first time you do it because, I went from Trezor to Ravencore, which was a wallet. And the guy's like, okay, in order to get it, you have to do this. And I'm like, okay, yeah. All right. But I don't want to have my seed key for my gold wallet on here. Right. So it's like, okay, get your tokens out. And then once you're empty, go in and delete the account and delete that wallet, and then generate a brand new wallet with new keys. Right.
So you just moved the tokens back onto the exchange?
Yeah. What happened was we were mining this coin called Raven with the 4 gig cards. Those are the 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old GPUs, and Raven coin is a fork of the Bitcoin network, so that every transaction it's a small slice, and it's recorded into the blockchain. And when you go to transfer out, you've got these thousands of small slices, these mining rewards that are paid out. And on the hardware wallet, it doesn't have enough CPU power to be able to process those more than 30 or 40 transactions so that you can move it out.
Right.
So I sat there doing these 40 transaction movements, trying to move my stuff out while I'm reading and researching how I fix this. And then I found it, and it's like I restored my wallet, and then I had to allow the wallet to sync with the blockchain. And once the blockchain was synced, I saw everything that I had. I was able to do a transaction, move it off into the exchange where I wanted to trade it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's done. And then all I did was shut it down and reconnected it to made a new wallet, connected to the blockchain, sent my new wallet address to, and we put it into our flight sheet for our mining so that it would pay into that wallet.
So will a DeFi wallet or hot wallet allow you to have 2 or multiple instances of the same wallet open at the same time?
Yeah, you can have multiple. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be looking at the blockchain. And that's why if you ever got an email or you get a text chat or you get something that says, oh, we're tech support for, ABC hot wallet. And if you give us you've got corruption in your wallet, so give us your 12 your 12 or your 24 seed phrase, and we'll test it out for you. So people do this because they don't know. Don't do that. Never, ever, ever, ever give away your seed phrase. That's the keys to the kingdom.
I think what I would do if somebody did that, and then you obviously that's not legit, I would just start giving them random 12 key phrases and just mess with them until they get sick of me and waste their time, because there are people that don't realize that that's not the way to work in this domain, that there are bad guys out there that are going to try and take your money, take your crypto. And people, like yourself and myself, we're honest, law-abiding citizens. We think good of everybody around us. We think people are like us, right? We would never do that. So why would anyone else do that? But there are people out there that, are more than willing to scam us, and so that's always something to always remember. You never give out your seed phrase to anybody.
No, it's like I know several people that have done it and have lost everything that's in their wallet.
Yeah, and you can't whisper it to your cat because they're aliens and they know. So
exactly, Cats the worst. Cats are the worst. They're gonna hop onto your computer. They're gonna transfer your crypto out. And then you're gonna be seeing fresh fish showing up delivered by Amazon.
Yeah. Hey, do they have a meme with a cat like Dogecoin? They got to get one for a cat.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that one will be coming out. Actually, you know what? One of my my crypto innocuous friends who just thinks it's he thinks it's the scourge of the earth, right? Along with our two gray-haired billionaires, very wise investors.
Yeah.
And he was talking today about a cat coin that was going to it was going to be displacing both Dogecoin and Bitcoin from their perch. There was a little bit of tongue in cheek in that.
Yeah.
But you name it, there is a project and a token out there.
Oh yeah.
Would I invest in them? Probably not. Would I recommend it? Probably not. But hey, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that I don't have a crystal ball. Actually, I do have a crystal ball. It just doesn't seem to work all that well.
Yeah.
So no, it cryptocurrency is a very complex environment.
Yeah.
Right. I was talking from a fellow from Texas yesterday. He's been in the tech industry as long as I have, 30 plus years, 35 plus years. And he's going like, I'm just trying to figure out how to buy some Dogecoin. He says, it took me a long time just to get my, my crypto.com account set up and verified. And he says, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had a 40-minute conversation and just kind of explaining things to him. And also me saying, just so you know, Doge is really hot. It's at the top of the market, right? It comes like, you think about the stock market, right? When everybody's talking about stock, that's time to get out. And that's kind of the thing with Doge. Everybody's talking about it, right?
Yeah, I think we have probably till Saturday, possibly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been looking at Dogecoin, and it went up to almost 70 cents. It dropped back to 56 cents. It's sitting somewhere around in the high 50s, low 60s, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is to for us to realize is it's risky, it's speculative. What's the Doge father going to say? The Doger Lord, the overlord of Doge.
Yeah, the conversations are going to be after Saturday Night Live. It's going to be like, man, I can't believe it went to $1.20, or it's going to be, I can't believe it tanked that fast. It's going to be one way or the other.
Well, and here's the thing is, we were having a conversation, is that if it starts to tank, you're going to have to be looking at taking a 15 or 20. You're going to have to set your limit sale price
Yeah.
like 20 cents lower than what it's trading at.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be so many orders in there ahead of you for the
Yeah.
top dollar. And what a limit order does is it gets you the highest price that's available to fill your order.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's say it's trading at $1.20 and you set your limit price to 95 cents. It doesn't mean that all your stuff is going to sell at 95 cents. The idea of a limit is you try and sell as high as possible until it reaches this price, and then below that price you won't sell it. And that's what happens if you set, I want $1.20. Once it drops below $1.20, your order is null and void.
Yeah.
Right. So these things called stop loss, and yes, you can do a limit, right? A stop limit order. So you set the stop to, let's say on Doge, you're going to set the stop to $1.10. So if it drops to $1.10, if it's trading higher, let's say today Doge is trading at 60 cents. So we put a stop limit. So if it drops below, let's say 45 cents, we're going to sell it. But our limit price, we might put at 38 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it starts to fall, we want to make certain that we get our order filled.
Mm-hmm.
Because once it blows below our limit price, there's no more sales.
That's right.
Right. And in a dumping market, this is the danger of a dumping market. In a dumping market, it's not going to surge back up.
Yeah.
Right. And this is why the conversation of taking profits on the way up
mm-hmm.
and taking profits on the way down.
Yeah.
Right. So that it's really difficult to time the peak,
mm-hmm.
but you can take a little bit along the way and a little bit, so you don't have to, it's like sitting there and watching a token drop and saying, well, it's going to recover. It's going to recover. It's going to recover.
Yeah.
Well, take some profit.
Yeah. I would think it's easier to take profit on the way up than on the way down, because what you're feeling emotionally is completely different on the way down than on the way up. And you'll be frantic trying to sell and deciding what to sell it at. And you'll just be like a mess.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say as it's going up and you're happy at, 25% or 15, 20, 10, whatever you decide beforehand, you need to make those decisions beforehand.
Yeah.
Not as it's happening.
Maybe you're only selling 10% on the way up.
Yeah.
When it hits, let's say that we decide, hey, we're going to sell this coin at, let's say we think Doge is going to go to $1.
Yeah.
Right. So we bought in at 38 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So we might say, hey, if it hits 68 cents, let's sell 10%.
Mm-hmm.
If it hits 75 cents, let's sell 10% or 5%.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever the number is. And you can set these limit orders, these sell orders at those price.
Mm-hmm.
So that as it goes up, it just knocks them off for you.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to the peak, you can do the same thing on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think this is the thing with Doge, is that it's a celebrity meme pump coin.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If it hits $100, it will have displaced, or if it hits $1, $100. Now, there's a Freudian slip. Wow.
I wasn't going to say anything because it sounded kind of nice.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just have to let that one land for a bit. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
$100 Dogecoin. Yeah. So it's what happens when you, for me anyways, is I'm thinking, well, it's got to rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, I may still be at 200% profit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got to rebound. Now I'm at 100% profit. And I'm going, oh, damn, I better sell some. Then I'm at 50% profit.
Yeah.
Right. And this is when the thing's going down, it's going down that fast.
Yeah.
Right. So I get we all want to okay, let me rephrase that. I want to maximize my return, and there's a little bit of a greed factor in there.
Sure.
So it's about dealing with that that greed. It's about dealing with that dream.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not greed for you. Maybe it's a dream that it's going to go higher.
Yeah.
Call it what you will. Give it whatever label feels right. But when that sucker goes down, it's going to, if you watch the SpaceX rocket, it goes up fast, it comes down fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long to set that rocket back down. And that's going to be the price of Doge. Yeah. It's going to go up like a rocket, and it may just come back down like one. Because the thing is, people aren't, well, okay, let me rephrase this. I don't think a lot of people are thinking long-term with Doge, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking too, him being on Saturday Night Live is a pretty big deal. Like, what else could top that as far as, Dogecoin and Elon Musk? I mean, there really isn't what can you do that can trump that even more? And I can't think of anything really until, they use it on Mars.
Well, it was really great because I saw this clip yesterday where Elon Musk was exiting a building, and he's getting all these YouTubers and news people are going, Elon, can we have a minute of your time? And he goes, 5 minutes. So he's very generous, right? He comes over and he starts autographing pictures of himself and everything. And it's Elon, what are you going to talk about Doge? And he says, yeah, we're going to be on Saturday Night Live. He just very skillfully, avoided. He says, well, what do you think I should talk about? What should we talk about on Saturday Night Live? He says, what do you think would be some good topics? Right. And everybody's focusing on Doge, and he's just not saying the word.
Yeah.
Not saying the word. Right. And that, so he sits there and he chats with them, and then he's like, okay, got to go. And his 1,400 bodyguards, shuffle him off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's kind of like, it'll be interesting. I mean, he's a very quick-witted, bright man, and the way he handled that, mob of questions, he deflected very well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I'm at 5% battery.
I think we're way over our normal time.
Good conversation. Love it.
It was a great conversation. Great fun tonight.
Yeah,
really enjoyed connecting and talking tonight. We had a bunch of people on. They seem to enjoy the Doge conversation.
Yeah, it's always fun. Yeah, it's what everyone's talking about, so it's good.
Yeah, it's Doge worthy.
Yeah. The one coin to rule them all, Bitcoin. The one coin to fool them all, Dogecoin.
I like that. That's very good. You heard it here first on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's right.
Crypto Cadets. All right, you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you again on Saturday.
Yeah.
The Doge.
Yeah. Invest safe.